Chinese scholar Yu Dan came to New Zealand again. She joined together with the Councillor of National Party, Dr. Yang Jian, for a discussion on the topic of wisdom, success and happiness.
The world-famous Chinese scholar Yu Dan came to New Zealand again. She joined us at TV8 together with the Councillor of National Party, Dr. Yang Jian, and had a discussion on the topic of wisdom, success and happiness. Yu Dan came to visit Auckland at about the same time last year. She guided the audience to a wonderful journey of Chinese culture and history using her unique style of presentation. This time, she wishes to merge and enhance the Chinese culture in New Zealand and encourage New Zealand's Chinese descendants to embrace in the Chinese culture.
其实呢，奥克兰有那么多的华人朋友，大家一方面带着自己文化的传承，另一方面呢，又要在这样的文化里面去进行融合。传承和融合真的是一组矛盾吗？它真的有冲突吗？那么我们在国外生活的孩子们，他们又怎么样去唤醒民族文化的基因？怎么样在国际坐标里面做一个中国人，或者说以一种中国的思维去融入一种国际的文化视野，所有这些我想都是大家感兴趣的，也都是我们可以探讨的。
During the TV8 show, Yu Dan referenced small stories to lead us to thought-provoking truth. She also advised Chinese living in the Western environment to make good use of their bicultural background and promote full emergence of the two cultures.
看看古老的中国文化在这样的一个春天里会不会开出新鲜的花，这些花朵能不能落在我们的心里，让我们的生命繁花似锦。
Yu Dan will be the cultural ambassador for the New Zealand Chinese Cultural Week 2012. In addition to the TV show, Yu Dan will be speaking at Altair Centre this Friday night on the topic of insights to China's culture and wisdom.
The Public Service Association has informed staffs of the plans to close immigration departments Dunedin and Sydney offices and to review up to 9 others. 66 managerial positions will be disestablished, with only 41 new positions created. The house rental legislations are very rigorous in New Zealand. For some newcomers, especially Chinese, it would be a wise idea to pay more attention to the legislation in order to avoid legal disputes.
The increasing number of immigration has propped up the rental market in New Zealand over the past years. Due to insufficient understanding of the local laws and legislations, conflicts have been rising between many Chinese tenants and landlords. Agent Iris Lau is reminding tenants and landlords that before signing the lease agreement, the presence of photographs and written evidence is essential.
Normally, I would suggest all the landlord and the tenant before they move in, they do the house checking to see any other problems and take photos is a must, because we can't remember all the conditions when they move in, or even the tenant because they're living there for some time, maybe 5-6 years. After then, you may not recall the conditions when they move in. So take a photo to protect yourself, and then normally I would still ask them to fill up a inspection report, because sometimes with the word and support with the photos will be more supportive, even if in case have to go to the tribunal.
According to relevant laws and legislations of New Zealand, tenancy bond must be submitted to and kept by the Housing New Zealand Bond Centre. It is illegal for landlords to keep it by themselves.
All the landlords, after they receive the bond, have to send to the bond centre with this is illegal, that if they want to keep the bond, this is illegal. If they have to keep their bond and the tenants they find it out, or the bond centre they find it out, then they will apply for the tribunal, then they will have the probability a maximum penalty of $1,000.
Since July this year, Auckland has made changes to legislations regarding water fees. Under the new regulations, the monthly water bills should be shared between landlord and tenants.
In the water care, they changed the rules, and then they divided the water bill into 3 different parts. The first one is water usage. The second one is volumetric wastewater, which is according for your water usage, and the last one is fixed wastewater. The landlord is just only liable to pay the water, and for the water usage and the volumetric wastewater, the tenant have to pay for it.
For more information, please visit the official website on www.dbh.govt.nz.
The latest figures from Statistics New Zealand show more than 2.5 million New Zealanders now have a mobile phone, and the number of subscribers with data caps of 50 gigabytes or more has increased by almost 800%. On average, Subscribers are consuming 7 gigabytes or more of data per month. Bowls New Zealand, the national body for bowling, criticised the Auckland Bowling Club for its policy of excluding female members, but the club is defending itself, saying the whole thing is a trial by media. Chrissy Jaismore.
The Auckland Bowling Club prides itself as the oldest in the Southern Hemisphere, forming 32 years before women won the right to vote. But the club created quite a stir when a proposal to allow women full membership was defeated by its voting members. Last week, the sports national body Bowls New Zealand spoke out against the issue, saying, "Our sport is values-based and any segregation or obstacle for people to play the sport does not fit within our values and mission." But the club's president Graham Scott is dismissing any criticism of sexism.
As a voluntary association of persons, everyone has the right to make an amendment to the rules and vote. And as a that vote, being a democratic society that we're in and what we operate under, the club can operate the way it is.
The Human Rights Commission said it's not illegal for private organizations to set membership rules, and Scott says they've always welcomed women into their facilities. Although when asked about likely changes in the future, his attitude is more reserved.
I wouldn't vote for it, no. But it's up to the members, and if the members decide to do that, the majority of the members, so be it.
Scott says his club is far from being the only men-only sports club around, and that the whole thing has been a trial by media. 2 members from the club have stood down from organizing the summer competition as a result of the membership issue. Christy Zhao, 9 News.
Now we have a TV9 host on Major Focus, Julie Nixon, to comment on council libel for defects.
A landmark Supreme Court decision that enables owners of non-residential buildings to sue Auckland Council for building defects is a step in the wrong direction. The Auckland Council, like councils up and down the country, enforce town planning requirements along with the building code as part of a program of managing development. Council is in ensuring that what is approved in building plans is implemented on building sites. Instead of the onus being on the councils to ensure that what should have been done has been done, it should be on the builders themselves. The Supreme Court decision gives non-residential properties the right to sue councils for defects, including leaks, where previously only people with residential property, houses, apartments, units or flats could do this. Under the decision, a council can be sued for damages reflecting the cost of bringing a building up to standard. The court decision opens the floodgates for owners of all buildings less than a decade old to take councils to court for water tightness issues associated with leaky buildings, for instance. The particulars of the case in question is that the court ruled in favour of Takapuna's Spencer on Byron Apartments. The apartment complex has 249 hotel rooms spread across 18 floors. It could be argued that there should not be a distinction between residential and non-residential buildings, but the point here is that there should be liabilities to perform. The approach to consents and inspection taken by councils is generally the same for all buildings, though with larger commercial projects there's often a much greater reliance on input as the councils don't necessarily have the necessary skills to perform. After the court ruling, the Auckland Council announced that it would defer a $175 million retail bond offer. The council launched its bond offer last week, but said it would relaunch once it had considered the implications of the decision. The last thing we need is councils shouldering debt when the onus should be on the builders to take more responsibility for what they do.
Thank you, Julian. Now let's take a short break and we'll be